I'm Zahir, Kelvin Abdullah, and this is Nightline. The top stories. Anwar calls for decisive action to curb drug and vape abuse among youth. And MACC nabs businessman, state assemblyman in alleged Sabah mining scandal. Good morning. We begin Nightline with this story. Malaysians currently in Iran are expected to be evacuated by Friday following recent acts of aggression by the Israeli regime against the country. Unity government spokesman Datuk Fahmi Fadzil said necessary arrangements are being made in light of the heightened tensions in the region.
Yang berada di Iran, jumlahnya yang berdaftar itu tidak terlalu besar, tapi mereka telah digerakkan untuk bergerak keluar dari negara Iran dan segala persiapan visa telah dimuktamadkan.
Fahmi, who is also Communications Minister, however, declined to disclose details of the preparations to evacuate the Malaysians, citing security reasons. On Tuesday, Wisma Putra issued a statement urging all Malaysians in Iran to leave the country by any available means. The ministry said the situation in the region remained highly volatile and could worsen without warning. Meanwhile, 26 Malaysians in Iran are in the process of being evacuated via land route to the country's border. Malaysian ambassador to Iran, Khairi Omar, when contacted, said the situation in Tehran is becoming increasingly concerning. He said the decision to use a land route is more pragmatic as Iranian airspace remains closed at this time. The 26 Malaysians include embassy staff as well as 5 Malaysian tourists. Khairi also said the embassy premises remain safe despite the Iranian capital coming under attack by Israeli forces in recent days. Now, Iran's health ministry on Wednesday has confirmed that nearly 800 people have been killed and 1,326 others wounded in a series of Israeli missile strikes, which also hit civilian areas and government buildings. In the latest development, Israel announced plans to strike southwestern Tehran, urging residents in the area to evacuate immediately. Iranian media reported that a university in eastern Tehran, allegedly linked to the Iranian Revolutionary Guards, was among the targets hit by Israeli forces. Israel also launched attacks on the Khor ballistic missile facility near the capital, a site previously targeted in airstrikes last October. To date, over 700 foreign nationals have fled Iran to neighboring countries such as Azerbaijan and Armenia. Those evacuated include citizens from Russia, the United States, the United Arab Emirates and Vietnam. Nearly 800 Chinese nationals have also been evacuated since Israel began its military campaign last week. The issue of drug and vape abuse among youths requires a comprehensive solution. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim has called for urgent and concerted action to be taken to combat the growing menace. According to Anwar, the long-standing problem has yet to see an effective solution despite various approaches having been implemented in the past.
Carilah jalan kaedah mana lagi. Apakah perlu dana, adakah perlu kaunseling, ada perlu dakwah, beritahulah. Kerana puluh tahun kita fikir belum selesai. Dan betul ada anak Cina, ada India, banyak juga di kalangan anak India, tapi lebih parah di kalangan anak Melayu. Membunuh jiwa mereka dari kecil.
Addressing the Malaysia Madani Nationalism Seminar, Teachers as Catalysts of National Patriotism in Putrajaya on Wednesday, Anwar acknowledged the enormity of the task ahead but emphasized the need to begin the process of reform. Earlier, Communications Minister Datuk Fahmi Fadzil said the government will act firmly against the online sale of illicit products, including drug-laced vape liquids being promoted on social media platforms. He added that a meeting involving his ministry, the Health Ministry and the Domestic Trade and Cost of Living Ministry will be held soon to discuss enforcement mechanisms. Last month, a report by Buletin Utama revealed that a drop of vape liquid containing the synthetic drug known as magic mushroom was being illegally sold among students for as little as RM1, including through social media platforms. Bukit Aman has since confirmed that school students as young as 13 have been found using vape products laced with the banned substance. As such, the police have expressed support for the decision by several state governments to ban the sale of vape products. Meanwhile, Anwar has reaffirmed the government's commitment to setting clear and investor-friendly policies. The Prime Minister said this was crucial to ensure continued confidence among major corporations in choosing Malaysia as a long-term investment destination. In a social media post on Wednesday, Anwar shared that he had received a courtesy call from ConocoPhillips Chairman and Chief Executive Officer Ryan Lance. ConocoPhillips is a leading American oil and gas company engaged in exploration, development and production activities worldwide, including in Malaysia. Anwar said during the meeting, ConocoPhillips had reaffirmed its continued commitment to investing in Malaysia, particularly through its involvement in the Kababangan Cluster Production Sharing Contract in Sabah, managed through its subsidiary ConocoPhillips Sabah Gas Limited with its strategic partner Petronas. The Prime Minister emphasized that the presence and investment of major companies such as ConocoPhillips are crucial to ensure the stability and sustainability of Malaysia's energy sector. He added that such investments not only support energy security but also have the potential to stimulate economic growth and create high-value employment opportunities in the oil and energy industries. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission has arrested 2 individuals with the title of Datuk for allegedly soliciting and receiving a 200,000 ringgit bribe in connection with the approval of mineral mining licenses in the state. MACC Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azam Baki confirmed that the suspects were businessmen and a Sabah State Assemblyman.
Seorang adun dan seorang orang awam lah.
Oh,
Yang kita dah tahan setakat ini lah.
maknanya yang lagi seorang tu belum lagi lah
Yang seorang itu belum lagi.
The 2 men in their 30s and 60s were detained while giving their statements on Wednesday. One person was detained at the Sabah MACC office and the other at the Commission's headquarters in Putrajaya. The businessman was later released on 100,000 ringgit bond, while the assemblyman was released on a 50,000 ringgit bond after their statements were recorded. Early on Wednesday, Azam confirmed that 2 Sabah State Assemblymen were among 3 individuals set to be charged this month in connection with the mining scandal. The investigation, dubbed Op Adun, was launched by the MACC following the release of a video linked to the matter published by a news portal in November last year. Commenting on the matter, Sabah Chief Minister Datuk Sri Hajiji Noor has called on all parties to allow the authorities space to conduct their investigation. He stressed that the state government will give its full cooperation to ensure due legal process is upheld.
Saya ambil maklum perkara itu. Kita mesti menghormati proses undang-undang dan kita biarkan jabatan yang berwajib untuk mengambil tindakan yang sewajarnya.
Hajiji, who also chairs the Gabungan Rakyat Sabah Coalition, said he was not informed of the identities of the state assemblymen involved. He said the expected arrests of the 2 assemblymen by the MACC will not affect the running of the state government. The Works Ministry requires nearly 4 billion ringgit to repair severely damaged roads nationwide. Its Minister, Datuk Sri Alexander Nantalingi, said the substantial cost poses a challenge to carrying out immediate upgrading works. According to Nanta, due to limited funds, the ministry is adopting a phased approach by prioritizing hazardous roads that require immediate repair and carrying out works based on urgency.
Kita dah ada dalam data kita. Data bank kita memang kita dah tahu mana jalan yang teruk. Sebab itu kita buat dalam apa peruntukan yang diberi dalam setahun ke setahun, kita buat dalam mana keutamaannya. Keperluannya besar, isu kita buat dulu, yang kritikal, ya.
Among the roads classified as critical is the East-West Highway, which connects Greek in Perak to Jelly in Kelantan. The improvement works on the route are currently underway by the ministry with an allocation of over 55 million ringgit. This includes the installation of 385 new street lights, road upgrading works, and the application of new road markings. The government expects the expanded sales and service tax to generate an estimated 10 billion ringgit in additional revenue annually. According to Treasury Secretary General Datuk Johan Mahmud Marikan, the move is part of the Finance Ministry's strategy to strengthen fiscal resilience. He stressed that broadening the SST base is crucial to ensure long-term sustainability of government spending, particularly in social welfare and development. This expansion is also intended to address the steady increase in annual expenditure. Johan added that sectors such as cash aid, healthcare, education and infrastructure maintenance require a strong and stable fiscal foundation. As such, the government seeks to widen the tax base without imposing an undue burden on the people. The government is urging local property valuers to explore the use of artificial intelligence to improve industry practices. Deputy Finance Minister Lim Hui Ying said integrating property information systems could also enhance transparency and accuracy in property assessments.
Transformasi di digital juga memerlukan budaya kerja yang terbuka kepada pembelajaran sepanjang hayat.
Speaking at the 68th National Valuation Day celebration, Lim added that valuers can also adopt geospatial technologies to support more precise property valuations. At the same time, closer collaboration between industry players and academic institutions is encouraged to accelerate the widespread use of AI in the sector. British inflation slowed as expected in May, dragged down by falling airfares and a corrected tax data error though food prices surged at their fastest pace in over a year. The Office for National Statistics reported on Wednesday that consumer prices rose by 3.4% year-on-year in May. Food prices jumped 4.4% in the 12 months to May, the biggest rise in over a year, hitting low-income households the hardest. Services inflation, a key indicator for the Bank of England, also eased to 4.7% from 5.4% in April, in line with the BOE's forecast. Gas, electricity and water prices rose in April along with higher employer taxes, driving inflation up from 2.6% in March. A recent spike in oil prices since the Iran-Israel conflict could push inflation higher again. Despite this, analysts expect the BOE to hold interest rates steady in its policy decision on Thursday. Teen charged with murder over Malacca knife attack. The details after this breather.
Wow. Do you want to advertise your business with Malaysia's #1 media publisher? With Mari Local, you'll be able to promote your business on more than 30 platforms and reach more than 10 million users every month. Get started on growing your business by filling up your business details at revmedia.my/marilocal today.
A woman's spirit is boundless. So grab your coffee cups and wear your sassiest smile. Because this season, we're louder than ever. We talk career, health, finance, relationships, and everything in between. Women's Talk is here to empower and inspire you. Join us on Women's Talk every Saturday, 5 p.m. only on TV3 and stream now on Thursday.
Thanks for staying with us. A 17-year-old boy was charged in the Ayokoro Magistrates Court on Wednesday with the murder of his mother and elder brother and causing grievous injuries to his younger sibling last week. No plea was recorded during the in-camera proceedings before Magistrate Othman Abdul Ghani as the case falls under the jurisdiction of the High Court. The Form 5 student is accused of murdering his 51-year-old mother and 21-year-old brother with a folding knife at their home in Taman Rambai, Mutiara on June 12. The offence carries the death penalty or imprisonment of up to 40 years and a minimum of 12 strokes of the cane upon conviction. The teenager was also charged with voluntarily causing grievous hurt to his 13-year-old brother using the same weapon at the same time and location. This second offence provides for up to 20 years imprisonment, a fine or whipping if found guilty. The court fixed July 24th for case mention. It was earlier reported that the suspect, who is due to sit for the Sijil Pelajaran Malaysia SPM examination this year, allegedly killed his mother, who is a teacher, and his elder brother in a violent outburst reportedly triggered by constant pressure to study. Former Dewan Negara Deputy President Datuk Seri Muhammad Ali Mohamad claimed trial at the Shah Alam Sessions Court to 20 charges of accepting bribes totaling 235,000 ringgit and 3 luxury cars linked to a land reclamation project in Malacca. The 61-year-old entered his plea after the charges were read out separately before the judge. On 17 charges, Muhammad Ali, who was then a managing director of a property development company, allegedly received 235,000 ringgit in bribes from the director of another company. He also faces 3 additional charges of receiving a BMW, a Range Rover and a Bentley from the same individual. The alleged kickbacks were said to be in exchange for appointing the company as a contractor for a proposed 100-acre land reclamation project of the coast of Kota Laksamana in Malacca Tengah worth 45.1 million ringgit. The court allowed bail at 60,000 ringgit with the next mention of the case set for July 24th. Public Bank Berhad has been ordered to pay 90 million ringgit in damages to the National Feedlot Corporation, NF Corp, and 4 others for breaching confidentiality by disclosing details of the company's bank accounts. The decision was made by a 3-member bench of the Federal Court, led by Chief Judge of Malaya, Tan Sri Hasnah Muhammad Hashim. On May 26, the same panel dismissed Public Bank's appeal against a previous Court of Appeal decision that allowed NF Corp to proceed with its 560 million ringgit lawsuit. The case centers on allegations of a breach of confidential bank account information. Apart from NF Corp, the other plaintiffs include its executive chairman, Datuk Muhammad Saleh Ismail, and 3 of the company's subsidiaries. A 38-year-old customer service officer was charged at the Temerloh Magistrates Court on Wednesday with 4 offences of drug trafficking and dangerous driving that resulted in the deaths of 2 teenage girls last week. Chun Kok Kiong claimed trial to 3 of the charges, while no plea was recorded for the drug trafficking charge before Magistrate Tan Chew King. For the first charge, Chun was accused of trafficking 50.85 grams of shabu in front of the lobby of the Temerloh District Police Headquarters at 12:30 a.m. on June 12th. No plea was recorded as the charge falls under the jurisdiction of the High Court. On the second charge, Chun claimed trial to possessing 0.85 grams of heroin at the same time and location. For the third and fourth charges, Chun pleaded not guilty to driving dangerously in a manner that caused the deaths of Noor Erdina Shafia Muhammad Nazri and Anis Erdiana Sofia Khairul Azman, both aged 18. The offence was allegedly committed at the junction of the Jalan Tengku Ismail traffic light at about 10:50 p.m. on June 11th. The court fixed September 18 for the mention of the first and second charges, while the third and fourth charges are scheduled to be heard on July 17. Chun's driving license will also be suspended until the conclusion of the trial. Iran vows no mercy to Zionist regime. The details when Nightline returns.
A woman's spirit is boundless. So grab your coffee cups and wear your sassiest smile. Because this season, we're louder than ever. We talk career, health, finance, relationships, and everything in between. Women's Talk is here to empower and inspire you. Join us on Women's Talk every Saturday, 5 p.m. only on TV3 and stream now on Thursday.
Ani, awak tahu tak mie rebus paling famous kat mana?
Mie rebus? Kat mana?
Kat utara lah.
Awak ni nak win je
Kita akan bawakan pelbagai resepi mie rebus.
Awak biasa mengurut?
Biasa.
Selain daripada urutan Melayu tradisional, ada juga urutan Cina dan India tau.
Tikus perosak bendang, petani jadikan buruh hantu sebagai ejen penyelamat.
Kes kemalangan pelajar UPSI baru-baru ini berkaitan break. Ambil tahu sistem break dan cakna penyelenggaraan.
Dan soal wang mengenai hibah.
MSI Isnin hingga Jumaat 10 pagi.
Juga stream di aplikasi tonton hanya di
TV3.
Tanyalah Ustaz minggu ini. Isnin, Masjid dan Komuniti. Selasa, Berani Berubah. Rabu, Keteguhan Doa Zakaria. Kamis, Berusia dan Berpahala. Jumaat, Subuh Terakhir Umar Al-Khattab. Sabtu, Golongan Celaka dalam Al-Quran. Ahad, Syarat Terima Amalan. Tanyalah Ustaz biar tahu jangan keliru di TV3 dan TV9. Stream juga dituntut.
Tema kali ini, madu. Menu yang saya akan siapkan hari ini. Yang pertama, salad daging salai muibah, kepak ayam madu bercili. Lepas tu ada pizza ayam salai cili hijau dan laici. Memang flavor dia agak lain. Ada juga pisang panggang miso dan roti canai. Ada air, bandung laici dan krim madu bergaram. Jangan lupa saksikan 5 rencah 5 rasa setiap Sabtu 6.30 petang hanya di TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
Welcome back. We begin our foreign news with this story from Indonesia. Dozens of flights to and from Bali were cancelled or delayed following the eruption of Mount Lewotobi Laki-Laki on Wednesday. Authorities also shut 3 airports in East Nusa Tenggara province until Thursday as a safety measure. The volcano first erupted on Tuesday, spewing ash 11 kilometers into the sky, prompting Indonesia's volcanology agency to raise the alert level to the highest of its 4-tier system. The second eruption occurred on Wednesday morning, sending a 1-kilometer high plume of ash into the air. While no casualties have been reported, local authorities evacuated residents from several nearby villages as tremors and further eruptions continued into the morning. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei vowed on Wednesday that his country would show no mercy towards Israeli rulers. In a post on X, he stressed that Tehran must give a strong response to what he called the Zionist regime. He also rejected US President Donald Trump's call for an unconditional surrender, saying the Americans should know that any US military intervention will undoubtedly be accompanied by irreparable damage. The remarks come amid 6 days of intensifying air wars between both sides, with the Israeli forces targeting Tehran's nuclear sites, military facilities and residential areas. Iran retaliated by launching missiles and drones, including hypersonic weapons, fired towards Israel early Wednesday. Tehran's foreign ministry spokesman Ismail Baghai also warned that any US intervention in the conflict would risk an all-out war, to which the US threatened a massive response to any attack. Meanwhile, Israeli warplanes pounded Iran's capital in an overnight assault, continuing into Wednesday as Iran launched a small barrage of missiles at Israel with no reports of casualties. The regime claimed that 50 Israeli jets had struck around 20 targets in Tehran, including sites producing raw materials, components, and manufacturing systems for missiles, adding that they had intercepted 10 missiles overnight as Iran's retaliatory barrages diminish. In a statement, the Zionist regime claimed its sweeping assault is necessary to prevent Iran from getting any closer to building an atomic weapon. However, Iran strongly denied that it is developing nuclear weapons, with the International Atomic Energy Agency, the IAEA, and U.S. intelligence agencies reaching the same conclusion in their latest reports. Earlier on Tuesday, U.S. President Donald Trump called for Iran's unconditional surrender and warned that Washington's patience was wearing thin. In a post on Truth Social, he stated there was no intention to kill Iran's leader for now, but his remarks pointed to a more aggressive stance towards Tehran as he considers whether to deepen U.S. involvement in the conflict. Just 3 minutes later, Trump posted another statement calling for Iran's unconditional surrender. His contradictory and cryptic messages on the Israel-Iran conflict have only added to the uncertainty surrounding the crisis, with public comments fluctuating between military threats and diplomatic overtures. Sources also reveal that Trump and his team are weighing several options, including possible coordinated strikes with Israel on Iranian nuclear sites. Switching to sports now, hockey and the 2025 Nations Cup in Kuala Lumpur. It was a heartbreaking day for Malaysians as the national team's semi-final hopes were dashed despite a gutsy 2-1 win over Japan in their final Pool B clash at the National Hockey Stadium in Bukit Jalil on Wednesday night. The Speedy Tigers finished level on 4 points with Pakistan, but lost out on the top 2 spot due to inferior goal difference. Needing a big win, the national squad came out firing. No Shafiq Sumantri struck in the 5th minute before Azrai Aizat Abu Kamal doubled the lead in the 26th minute to send fans into a frenzy. But hopes of reaching the last 4 were shattered when Koji Yamasaki pulled one back for Japan with just 4 minutes to go. Malaysia, who finished 3rd in the group, will now take on South Africa in the 5th to 8th classification round. Moving on to football, the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup in the United States. Champions League finalists Inter Milan were held 1-1 by Mexican side Monterrey in their opening Group E game in Pasadena on Tuesday. Inter dominated possession early on, but it was underdogs Monterrey who struck first, taking the lead in the 25th minute when 39-year-old defender Sergio Ramos rose above 2 markers to head home from a corner. The Italians, playing their first match since a 5-0 thrashing by Paris Saint-Germain in last month's Champions League final, equalized just before the break as Lautaro Martinez tapped in from close range. Monterrey nearly snatched a late winner in stoppage time, but Nelson Diosa's effort found only the side netting. The result leaves both sides on 1 point behind group leaders River Plate, who earlier defeated Urawa Red Diamonds 3-1 in Seattle. Let's take a look as tens of thousands of drones light up the Chongqing sky with a spectacular light show, setting a new Guinness World Record. With that, I'm Zahir, Kelvin, Abdullah. Thank you for watching and stay safe.